This is a glimpse into my life. Life with Eric.
Eric's here.
And I'm Kylie.
And I'm Eric.
Okay, I think we know who you are.
Oh.
So how does it feel?
It feels a little tiring and pretty good to be back in the studio after 2 weeks.
I know. It's kind of weird.
I thought you were going to say, how does it feel that I'm irritating you left and right?
Oh, you're a little irritating me today.
No, I think you're just irritate, like
Irritable?
anything will irritable. Anything would irritate you.
Possibly.
Everything I do. You're like, don't sit down. And I go, why? Oh, just don't sit down. Okay.
I said
won't.
please.
And then when I do back off, I squat down to fix the camera, and you go, you're in the picture.
You are.
And then when I go backwards, and you say, your phone's on.
No, I did
Turn
say
it
that.
off, and it turned off by itself, and you took your
Well,
picture.
I was waiting for it to turn off.
Yeah, but I can tell you're real irritable today.
Well,
I think 2 weeks off has irritated you.
I don't think so.
Or just today.
I think just today.
Okay. I got to watch what I say. Now, I like freedom on the podcast. I like freedom to say whatever I want to say. Now I'm walking on eggshells.
I won't
here.
harass you on the podcast. I'll wait till we turn that record button off.
Oh, that's true. Or in front of River. River's our producer today. River touched the camera. I'm like, don't touch the camera.
Yeah,
Like,
who's irritable?
you don't trust me? Yeah. No, I'm not totally irritable. Actually, I do. You did way better than me at that shit, River. Jeez Louise. But I'm happy to be back. We had a lot of energy going, and then we sucked it down. Now we're getting it back again. Yeah. I had a lot of energy going today because I knew we were 2 weeks out coming back. We're me and Kylie, right before we go on the air here, we're talking social media shit.
Yeah, we were.
That gets us all aggravated.
It does. It is.
Because we're not social media savvy.
I don't know if savvy's the word so much as we just don't care about it, and we should.
Yeah, we know we need to do social media for
yeah.
this. So we're gonna get back on track. But who
for
gives
like a week, and then we'll go back.
Who gives a shit about all that stuff?
People do, just
they
not
do?
us. Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Do you give a shit about social media, Riv?
See?
Oh, see? Damn it! Dang it!
Oh,
God.
you're not.
Well, when you're old like me, that's what you don't get it. And then when you're
What do
old
you
like
give a shit about,
Grandma
honey?
and Papa, you really don't get it.
Your mom does enjoy a good Facebook post.
Mom, actually, yeah, Grandma is on social media all the time. She doesn't know what she's doing or how to use it really, but she's commenting and scrolling.
She does.
She's like caveman. She has this phone. She's sliding up like viciously.
I wonder
sliding
why
up.
her screen's cracked.
Yeah.
Just joking. I don't think it is.
Well, Mom and Dad are back in town. We went out to dinner with them last night.
Yep, they're back.
In rare form.
They were in rare
My
form.
mom,
I thought they were in normal
my
form.
mom says our waiter looked a little bit like Hitler.
Oh my God, she did. Oh my God.
And then when he put our drinks down, he walked away and she's like, "Hail Hitler."
She did. She's blaming it on the fact they just watched a Hitler documentary.
Yeah, she goes, "We just watched the Hitler documentary," so I was just thinking, but did he have a little mustache, this guy?
I know he had like a full mustache, not a little one.
He turned out to be a nice guy,
He
though.
was a very nice guy.
I thought that was funny. My dad doesn't even flinch at anything
She
like
tried
that.
to give him her potato. He didn't want it.
Yeah, the giant baked potato he didn't want.
I think your dad's so used to it that he doesn't even, I don't even think he listens to half the stuff she says.
She's pretty funny, though.
She
She's
is.
hilarious. She's kind of it. She's not woke.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No.
She says what she wants.
She does not care who she offends.
Right. Kind of like Trump.
I
Her and
swear to
Trump.
God, they're siblings.
They're siblings. Grandma and
I mean, they
Mom
have
and
some
Trump.
similar mannerisms.
Well, you know what? Mom is coming on next week.
Yes, you informed me of that today.
And she used to always say, "Oh, man, I don't know. It takes so long to do all this stuff." And this way I say, "Hey, Mom, you want to be on the podcast next week? No one's heard from you in a while." And she's like,
We had her on it for like 15 minutes.
"Oh, yeah, I forgot we called her up, but that didn't count. She's on the podcast." She's like, "Okay,
Oh.
I want to be on." So she must have something really good to say.
Or she just really likes it and misses it.
Yeah, possibly.
So every time she says, it's just like a
No, she
show.
likes it. She did tell me in private. She's like,
well, it's not private anymore.
she told me in private. She's like, I don't want to tell you this, and you and Kylie are pretty good on the podcast, but it's really the best when I'm on.
Oh my God.
And it's funny because cousin Jeff says the same thing.
Right.
It's the best when I'm on.
Oh, okay.
And then even Skylar goes, "Yeah, I only like the podcast kind of when I'm on."
Or when should we talk about her?
Yeah, when we
Yeah,
oh yeah,
she really likes when we talk
Sky
about
only
her.
likes the podcast when we talk about
Yeah.
it. She goes, "You didn't say anything about me."
Right. Yeah.
So I'm saying something about you now, Sky. Sky watched 6. She's doggy groomed. She's done 6 dogs
That's
today.
a lot of dogs.
So I'm talking about it right now. And Riv, I'm talking about you because we have a live studio audience here.
talking about you.
And Riv doesn't know much about when we went to Maine.
I don't think anyone knows
And
much about
nobody
Maine
knows, but
because
we're
we
gonna-
didn't
One, we're going to post a bunch
talk
of
about it
pictures
or
up,
show pictures.
but the Maine Gang that we talked about, we went to Portland, Maine.
We
but
didn't go to Portland, Maine.
We flew into Portland,
We
Maine.
flew into Portland, Maine.
But where do we go?
We stayed in Kennebunkport.
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 And actually, it's the first time I said it right.
I think that's correct. But I had to say it first. I could tell you wanted me to say it, not you to say it.
I was looking at you just to say it in case I was like,
Kennebunkport.
Yeah, I couldn't say it right, but really cool place.
Really cool place. I will say, initially, when we found out where we were staying, because I've never heard of Kennebunkport, I was kind of like, why are we staying here? Why aren't we staying in Portland? But I didn't find the house. I did zero work, so I'm not going to criticize it if I'm not even going to put in an effort. So I was just like, whatever. This is how it is. But I'm so glad we stayed in Kennebunkport and not Portland.
Yeah.
Like-
Portland was kind of old city-ish, and, I mean, you can equate it to Portland, Oregon or something. I wouldn't even know I was anywhere different.
Right, I guess.
But
yeah.
when you're in
We weren't there very long.
Kennebunkport,
It was, yes, it's just cute,
I
charming
always want
little
to say
town.
Kennebunkport, and I don't care. Kennebunkport, and I don't care.
That
I don't know
feel
what that
like
rhyme
you're-
is or whatever, but that's what I want to say when I hear that.
Okay.
This girl I swim with, her name is Gretchen, not my sister.
I know it's.
I didn't say Gretchen on the podcast.
That is a lot of. I mean, you know
Omit
a lot
that
of
from the podcast.
Gretchens. I'll say that.
I do know a lot of Gretchens, but she told me, "Oh, you went to Kennebunkport.
Oh.
That's where the Kennedys used to hang out."
Oh, they did.
Yeah, she said
Oh, I
all
didn't
the
know that.
Kennedys used to hang out, and I said, "Well, it's kind of funny because George Bush's compound.
It's actually George Senior's initial compound.
I'm sure it was
Yeah,
seniors,
he's the
and
one that
he's-
started
I
it.
mean, Now, he passed it down to the other
Correct.
bushes.
Correct.
Passed it through the bushes.
Went down the bushes.
Trim the bushes.
Okay.
Whatever. George Bush trimmed those bushes.
I mean, I don't think George is trimming anything.
Oh, yeah, George is dead, huh? And his wife.
The
Linda.
seniors. Linda.
Not Linda.
Barbara.
Linda's the other one.
Laura.
Laura, that's right.
Wow. Do you know your history?
I do know the Bushes.
Jeez.
Isn't Linda Jeb Bush's?
I have actually no
must.
idea. I don't know.
Let's just say it's.
I can look it up for you if you'd
Let's
like.
just say that's Jeb Bush's.
It's probably
right?
not.
But anyway, it's kind of funny because it's a very liberal town. Obviously, the Kennedys were there, and the Bushes are very Republican.
Right.
But they made
Maybe
their.
Kennebunkport isn't.
I don't think so. There was Al Gore for president 2024 cups in that one shop.
Oh.
Al Gore.
There's a lot of Bush
that?
stuff in there, too.
Oh, there was a lot of Bush stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went and saw. We were only staying about a mile
Mhm.
away from the Bushes.
I would like you to know
What?
that his wife's name is Columbia.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't. I guess that. Oh, is she
So,
foreign? She must
I
be.
don't know.
What does she look like?
Oh my gosh, you really want me to pull up a picture?
Yeah. I mean,
I just know that it's not Linda.
it's not Linda or Barbara.
She is Mexican American.
Oh, Columbia. He was running for president at one time. I think I remember his wife
Yes,
somewhere.
He did. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Really
Not
know.
Linda.
Well, we'll just call her Linda.
Anywho, I don't know. Well, I kind of feel like the Eastern seaboard, if you will, is probably more liberal.
I have no idea.
Except for maybe that point. Just that point in Kennebunkport is not.
Yeah, just the very point. But we stayed right on the. There's a bunch of fingers. When you're on the East Coast, there's a
No,
bunch of
we
fingers
stayed on the
going in.
Kennebunk River.
Oh, that was a river.
Yes, that was a river.
The water tastes salty though.
Well, it's a river that hits the ocean. We were right where they meet.
Yeah, really clear.
Because the tide
really
goes in and
beautiful.
out, so it was part of the.
Yeah, you used to see it, Riv. The water, the tide would go way up and then way down, but the same size boats would still go
Yes,
through.
yes, it
looked
must
like
be real deep in the
It must be in
center.
the center. Must be super deep. You wouldn't guess.
Why
that-
didn't you go
that
out and
yacht-
check it out?
We were gonna one night when we came home. Everybody's gonna take a dip, but it's kind of cold, you know.
I would be a little afraid of like bull sharks or something.
Yeah, coming
Like
in.
creepy,
They-
yeah.
They say there's sharks that come into the fresh water from the.
Yeah, they
ocean,
like
yeah,
live
so-
in those weird little like
Yep. We'll swim at night out
fingers.
there.
Yeah,
Well, we never did, so it doesn't matter.
right.
But beautiful place. It was,
It was
the most
beautiful.
everything. Every time we were walking around or doing anything, I'm like, oh my god, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Everything
know,
is
they
so
have-
pretty,
They have
picturesque.
the best hydrangea bushes.
The massive
my God.
hydrangea bushes.
It's like my
Everywhere.
dream. All I want is
They've been
hydrangeas.
going for hundreds of years.
Probably because
you
they're
know.
huge.
Yeah. That
My
was.
poor little one out there looks like shit compared to theirs.
It doesn't even look like anything.
I
It's
know.
the
I didn't even have
tiniest little-
flowers. It's not even blooming.
Yeah, I'm like that's kind of like the one we got home. Not really.
Not even close.
Yeah, but yeah, that place was great. Known for its lobster
I mean, I think Maine
rolls.
itself is known for lobster. Maine lobster. It's a thing.
We got about 3 or 4 lobster rolls.
You guys
ones.
ate a lot. I actually didn't eat any.
We were just trying out because
I know.
that was part of the thing.
Never got one. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
The first lobster roll we got, we went to.
You're still not listening to me.
What'd you say?
I said I never got a lobster roll.
No.
Ever.
At Luke's, you didn't?
I got a
You
salad.
just had a little bite of everybody's. Oh, I guess you never did. Oh. Well, when we go back, you'll have to get a lobster roll. Hey, you ever had a lobster roll, Riv?
It's a sandwich.
It's
with
like a sandwich
lobster
just
in
with
it.
lobster on it, and one of the places had like honey with spicy honey on it.
Spicy honey butter.
It was actually pretty good. You can either get butter or mayo. But I know you have the choice everywhere, so we're like, oh, God. And all of us wanted butter, except maybe Chris didn't.
Right. But they weren't too mayo-y, I will say.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot of mayo.
Globs, no globs.
Yeah, but they weren't. But, yeah, so the first place we went to, I said, I'm just going to buy one lobster roll. We can all share it to see what they're like because we heard. So I go to this place, Mabel's? Marbles?
Mabel's.
I give them marbles.
You called it many different names on the trip, but it's Mabel's.
I got it to go. $31.
That was like the norm.
And literally the lobster roll is like 6 inches long.
But I'm pretty sure they give you like 2 lobsters on that thing.
Yeah, a lot.
There's
of
a
lobster
lot.
meat.
They don't skimp on the lobster, I learned.
Yeah, everywhere they went, they're about $26 to $32 a lobster roll.
Yeah.
Average. And they sell a lot of them.
Yeah, they do.
Folks either don't know, Maine's known for lobsters.
I think safe to say majority of people know.
Yeah, that's right. And then there was lobster boat. Every morning we'd see lobster boats going out in front of our place.
Yeah.
And
there was a place across the street from us too that like would go out and catch them and then sell them live, like from their shop.
To Mabel's.
Which they said they sold Mabel. They would sell the Mabel's. So we ate their lobsters.
You know what they did say? The guy said they would sell the Mabel's
mm-hmm.
for the whole lobsters.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes, the lobster rolls are frozen
no,
lobsters.
he said, he did. No. He said they buy the lobsters from them, but they freeze them.
Yeah,
they freeze the meat and then reheat them.
Then he says, they have lobster rolls, frozen lobster rolls. Here you won't get a frozen lobster roll. You get the
did not
That's
have that
basically
accent.
exactly as he sounded.
I don't think he had that accent at all.
Come over here, the lobster.
No, I'm pretty sure you made that accent up.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
He kind of like sounds like guy that we went to Salem, Massachusetts.
Nope, I think you're combining 2 people into one.
I'm combining 2 people into one. That's what I do. But it's a pretty good accent. I kind of like that one. You never eat the frozen lobster roll.
Nope. He did not have an accent. And if he did, it did not sound like that.
One thing about Kennebunkport and Maine.
What?
All the food.
The restaurants are amazing.
It wasn't good because I gained about 10 pounds, but 20
I
pounds.
was really impressed with it's a very small town, so there was not very many restaurants, but they were all amazing. Like better restaurants than we have in Reno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even went to like a bar. We went to an Irish bar. The food was amazing. Like everywhere. I guess there's kind of a lot of tourists coming in there where they want good food. We went to some great places though.
Did.
This one place we went to is called Earth. And we're driving out. It looks like
Did it look like we were gonna get murdered?
It looked like
Mel was gonna take us out and
we're going into like the deep brush on a dirt kind of road. We're like, are we really going to this restaurant? It looked like the roads are so dark. You're waiting for Michael Myers or Jason to jump out right in the front of the road. We're like, man,
it was a little creepy.
We go in this. There's like a log cabin-ish, mountainy looking restaurant.
Yeah, it was kind of rustic,
but it was dirt road going.
Which is I think it was like a golf course or something. Really, I should probably.
I don't know
because there was like a pool outside and it was some kind of resort.
Yeah, it was that one on Friday the 13th, that camp that they all went to.
I don't think it was a camp.
Yeah, I was waiting for you go outside and go to the bathroom. And you're not coming back to that place. That's why I held it the whole time.
Okay.
I take a shit the whole time. I didn't even go out there. I didn't want to get killed.
At the what? There's indoor plumbing.
Wouldn't it be funny if we're eating at that restaurant and you just see the mask walk by?
Oh my God, they should do that
they
during
should do
Halloween.
It for Halloween
because
it's kind of a creepy place, but the place is all full of log rounds, basically, right? I would call them log rounds.
They cut them, yeah, and make tiles out of them, if you will.
But the place smells like.
I didn't notice the smell, but Chris said it did.
It's cedar. It's smells like cedar the whole place. But you get all these course meals, and
it was a 4-course meal.
Yeah, it was really good.
That you picked out your.
Everybody had really good food. I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah,
I was impressed. Good
find,
Mel.
That's why I didn't go to the bathroom there, though.
Okay, I don't think that's why.
I
went. It was fine.
Until we got home. Well,
Well, you didn't have to sit in the back of that crunched car, so maybe if
yeah.
your bladder wasn't smashed, you would have gone to the bathroom.
Kylie always got stuck in the very back
Yeah,
of the
me and
car.
Lauren got screwed in the back. Wasn't fun. You did it for about 10 minutes.
I know.
It wasn't
But-
great.
Yeah.
I know. Me and Lauren didn't realize how much we were missing in life till we walked that one day and we're like, oh my God, look at all these things we missed just on our drive home.
Couldn't see because they were in the third row back of the seat, kind of up, elevated up
Yeah,
a
we
little
couldn't
bit.
see shit. And you guys would be like, oh, but look, we're on a bridge. I'm like, we are?
Yeah, we passed
Can't
it
see
10 times.
shit. Yeah.
But yeah, we went with Lauren and Chris, and then we also went with Mark and Mel, the same little travel group we went with,
Yes.
and had a really good time. Mark was in
Great
rare
time.
form. Marcus is having
What
a
does
lot of
that
fun.
mean? Oh,
Marcus is he's a goofball, man. He's just
yeah.
goofing off and having a
I
really
feel
good
like
time.
when he doesn't have kids and work, he lets it loose.
He lets it all
Yeah.
loose. There was some bike sitting in front of the bike place, and just said on the license plate said Mark, M-A-R-C. That's it. He's
Mark's
Marcus.
bike.
Yeah. I go, hey Mark, get on that bike.
I know.
It's
You guys.
that bike.
I'm like, hopefully Mark doesn't come out. And it's like, what are you doing to my bike?
Get off my bike. You're riding my bike. But Kennebunkport had
Recommend it.
it was a little fishing town, let's call it, in its day.
I think it's
probably.
like a lobster town.
Yeah, oh yeah, lobster and crab. And
Yeah.
you can get lobster rolls and everything, but on the street, in the middle of the street, like the intersection of the street is like a I would call it a lighthouse shaped concrete pylon.
Right. Well, it's also because the street
had
had made a W. It didn't Y.
Yeah, it was the most unique streets ever.
It
And,
didn't make sense, but it did.
right, but they probably had that in the old days, you know?
Right.
And also, speaking of lighthouses, they have tons of lighthouses we
They
try to
do.
go to, but they're usually far away from the shore.
I expected them to be closer. I
I
did.
expected them to be on the shore
I did as well.
in all reality, but
They were not.
yeah, so
We learned that.
who knows? But one of the days,
What?
we went to Salem,
We
Massachusetts, the home of the witch
The
trials.
Salem witch trials.
The Salem witch trials. Creepy.
You found it creepy?
A little eerie there, yeah.
It is a little eerie. I kind of don't like the fact, which I get why they did it because it's profitable, but they did make it a little commercialized, so it's like Halloween year round. I have a feeling.
Haunted. Hey, River, they have haunted houses year round in Salem, Massachusetts. Actually, that's a place that you would like to live, Riv, because it's kind of Halloween all
year round, yeah.
It's
they kind
all
of
about witches.
commercialized it for the year.
Yeah, we went 2 different haunted houses.
We did.
Yeah, that's fun.
Those were fun.
Because I wasn't planning on going to any haunted houses.
I didn't either because I didn't think they'd have haunted houses. But I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, so we went to one, then went across the way, and then the guy, when we got out, goes, which one did you like better? Which one did you like better? And I go, oh, I like that one. And he was all bummed because it was
His was the other one,
His was
yeah.
the other one. I'm like, oh, I just said the
Sorry.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the wrong thing, buddy. Then he was making fun of me after that.
Well, I would like to spend a couple days in Salem. I think would be fun.
Yeah, they had that hotel there.
Yeah, that was real fun. It had a cool rooftop bar.
Yeah. In Salem,
that.
They had basically they were it was for entertainment almost. They wanted to find witches and get rid of them. So
It seemed
So-
like that.
so-
Or if they just didn't like the person, they would just try
Right,
to
say
kind of
they-
find
they-
a reason,
right,
and
they
that
would
was the
say,
reason to get rid of them.
oh, she's a witch. So they would go and
It
question
was a lot of
her.
women,
It
obviously.
was all women. They would go and question
But
her.
there was one woman that had been married 4 times, which is against
Right.
the
And so,
1600 policies.
Yeah, and then the one woman who owned her own farm, it was independent.
Right.
But they would just go and interview them, and if they felt that they said something wrong, they would say you're jailed. Then they'd have a trial, and then they would go.
Hang them
They would hang them and take them about a mile from where we were
downtown, if you will.
downtown and hang them.
Yep.
And that's
And
what they
we
would do.
learned
And the whole city would get involved.
creepily grossly, we learned that they portrayed in the movies as they hang them quickly and they die quickly. That's not how it was. They would hang them there, and they would take days to actually die.
Yeah, days and days to actually die. So that was
Which
creepy.
that's the creepy.
We were
in
on this tour
itself.
at the nighttime tour.
Yeah, we did the nighttime, which is more of kind of like a ghost tour. We learned.
Yeah, and they kept saying, once in a while you'll see someone in the window, and once in a while
I just took
yeah.
a picture. Maybe there's a ghost in there.
We should check that picture out. There could be.
Yeah, there could be.
But I thought that was pretty interesting. We were walking through kind of at the graveyard at night,
We did not walk through a graveyard, honey.
by the graveyard.
By the graveyard,
Yeah,
yes.
by the
You're
graveyard.
not
at night.
allowed to go in the graveyard because, the residents put a
what,
thing.
What do you have against graveyards?
I don't have anything.
We were driving to we were driving to the place, and I said, "Hey, look there's a baby graveyard." And you're like, "Hey, that's not a baby gate, you moron." And I'm like, I didn't say baby gate. I said baby graveyard.
It was a baby graveyard. I thought you said baby gate.
Why would it be a baby gate?
I don't know. Someone put their baby gate out. The guy across the street from Carly's house has a baby gate for his turtle on the grass. It could be a baby gate.
That's true. But I said baby graveyard. So it's not a baby gate, you moron.
I did call you moron.
Kylie's been reading all these books, and I think they say moron.
No,
too
I
much.
learned that because I've never once in 10 years called you a moron.
Yeah, and so the
And I
whole
did.
trip, that was the first day of the trip. The whole trip, everybody's like, yeah, you moron. And all the peeps are calling me moron
No,
every
it became
second.
everybody was a moron.
Yeah.
Not
So
just you.
we,
But I learned when I was reading my book later because they said moron like 3 times. And I was like, oh my God, I think this whole time she's been calling people moron and it's like sinking.
keep
And
going
like,
on
and so I
moron.
unconsciously it like sunk in and I called you a moron.
Yeah, we had this plan because everybody kept calling me a moron. I said, hey, Kylie,
Oh, yeah.
call me a moron one more time in front of the group, and I'm going to yell at you in front of the group, but don't take it personally. So Kylie's like, I said something about a gate or something. She's like, it's not
And
a,
they-
yeah, it's
No,
not
it was some random,
it's
yeah.
not random. That's not it, you moron. And I'm like, okay, you dumb.
No, you called me an old
yeah,
bitch.
okay, get over it, you old bitch. Everybody stops and
Like,
looks.
wait.
I got a little, at least I got a little bit of
Yes,
self-satisfaction
you got a little-
of being
you got a
called a
little bit
moron
back.
for 3 days in a row.
We called everyone a moron, or every guy a moron, I guess.
Yeah.
Not just you.
That was pretty fun. We had a lot of little goofy little one-liner things like that.
It's true.
We had we're coming back from Salem in the nighttime, and Mel drives, so we're all in the car.
Which is handy and nice.
Yeah, we're all in the car goofing around, and Chris says, "Hey, you ever seen the episode of Seinfeld where they're trying to? There's a female body part that's
like rhymes with like Jerry's girlfriend night. Her name rhymes
her
with a
name's
female
rhyme with a
body
female
part.
body part." So we're sitting there, and I'm like,
We're
I
all
don't know.
thinking about
we're all
it.
thinking about it, and I'm all Clint.
Clint doesn't rhyme with
I said,
anything.
Clint doesn't rhyme with anything. So
Nope,
we're
Clint. You
kinda
said
laugh-
Clint, yeah.
I said Clint, yeah. So we're all kind of laughing or whatever. Then Marcus,
You were actually close in the long run.
yeah. Then Marcus is like, Waint.
Which is also not a name.
I'm like, well, girls and guys have taints.
Right. Waint.
He's like looking back. He's like, well, Waint.
Waint? Is it a waint?
We had a good time with that.
We did.
The name was Dolores, by the way.
Dolores. You could think
Or
every-
clitoris. Or
Okay,
whatever.
I was
Whatever.
say, can you think
plug
of
your ears, Riv.
He
But
has
that-
share, you know.
Oh yeah. Did you share, Riv? Oh, you don't have to. By the time you're a senior, you don't have to do
I
share
had to do it
anymore.
my senior year.
Did
in
I sign the
government.
papers for that, Riv?
Oh, I would
Oh,
say I had to
jun-
do it my senior
junior
year.
You know what,
What?
Keeks? You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do.
I wonder if this guy ever did share.
Hey everybody, this is Joe LaMonica with LaMonica Custom Builders. You want a custom home from a Southern California premier home builder? Call me, Joe LaMonica with LaMonica Custom Builders. 310-465-3347.
Do you think he
No.
knows anybody named Waint? Just
He
wondering.
might.
Or
He might.
Dolores, even.
Yeah, he might. I'm sure he knows a Dolores.
Maybe we should find a Dolores
Waint.
for Joe.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Hey, my new girlfriend's Dolores.
That'd be amazing. Make my day.
I doubt his new girlfriend would be Waint.
I'm pretty sure it would not be Waint.
If I hear the name Waint, it sounds like a guy,
Well, right. I
Like-
think of Wayne.
like John Waint.
His name is Wayne, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think of Wayne. It's like you both took Wayne and Clint. And, well, yeah, Clint is a real name, I guess. But
like Clint Eastwood.
yeah, like. And those are also male names, not female names.
Right. But we couldn't think.
Well, yeah. It's all right.
We were getting all the way out of Salem, and Kylie has to turn around, and we go to see the Hocus Pocus house.
Well, no, I said, can we just stop there on our way out? We were trying to go to the ice cream place before it closed for Chris. So I said, can we just swing by after that? So it was like a 5-minute detour.
Yeah, we saw that. I haven't seen Hocus Pocus.
I know, we need to watch that.
Have you
maybe
seen
tonight.
Hocus Pocus, Riv? The movie?
What are you doing tonight then? You want to watch Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, we'll probably watch it tonight or
Oh,
tomorrow.
man, I love it.
No, I dedicated myself to watch it.
And the new one just came out too.
Yeah, since we saw all the in Salem is where they filmed the movie.
They actually filmed it in Salem, yeah. So actually some of the buildings in the movie are actually real buildings in Salem. We saw.
Yeah,
You took pictures of.
I got pictures of everything. I don't know exactly what they were. There in Kennebunkport, there's a picture. It almost looks like the clock and the building from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is,
I
but it
don't-
kind of looks like it.
I know. I thought that was not from Kennebunkport, but you are right. It is. I was like, that's from Salem, but I don't think I saw that clock. Yes, I did. It was at the very end of the street when we first parked. I know what you're talking about now.
Giant
It's all
clock,
coming
like
back to me.
the clock tower.
But it was
that gets
actually
struck by
a
lightning.
church, which was funny. That had a big
Yep.
clock on it. It was a church.
Oh, it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Back to the Future is on the set. But
Oh, but it could have They could have got the inspiration from
Kennebunkport?
because it sure looked like. I'll show you the pictures later, Riv. You'll get a kick out of that.
a kick out of it.
You'll get
He's all sure.
What's really funny, and I got a kick out of this.
What?
So we're leaving to go to Maine, and we get to the airport, and Kylie always gets like something stopped in security
Oh
because
my
she
God,
brings
I
all the snacks
know.
in her purse. So
Snack bag.
yeah, so the snack bag gets pulled over in
Yep,
security,
it got pulled in security.
and takes it out, and the guy pulls out a mason jar of this white powder. I'm like,
looks so bad.
I didn't know she brought that.
It looks
I go, "That's
so
her-
bad.
I hope it's not a jar of cocaine from Colombia or
or
whatever."
gunpowder. It looks so bad.
Yeah,
It looks horrible.
tell him what it was.
Benefiber.
Yeah, it was to take a shit
Right.
or whatever, fiber to take a
Fiber,
shit on
yep.
vacation or whatever.
I know. I was like, oh my God.
So embarrassing.
And I was like, oh, I'm like, well, that's my fiber. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just check this. And I told him, I'm like, oh my God, that looks bad.
and
It does look bad.
And then right after that, I ran into my friend, Brian.
Brian?
But his name was Scott.
Right.
But it was Brian.
That you called
This-
him Brian.
A few podcasts ago, I was saying how I call everybody Brian, but this guy
Right.
Scott. And I
You
ran
did call
into him,
Brian to his face.
but I called him Scott. When
Did
I
you call him Scott? I didn't hear you say his name.
Actually, I don't know if I did or not. I said, hey, there was Brian.
Yeah, I don't think you said his name, which is a good call.
Then I'm like, hey, where are you going? Like, he didn't want to talk to me at all.
Well, you looked like he was a smidge in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I don't want to talk to you.
And you don't even know my name, so why does he want to talk to you?
I see you later, Brian. Nice seeing you.
Have a good flight, Brian.
Yeah. I like that.
Yikes.
Chris is like, oh, who is that? And I go, that's Brian.
Or Scott. I couldn't remember his name, sadly, so Brian works for me.
If there were just more Brians in the world, I'd
If there were
have
more
fun with that.
Brians in the world.
Yeah, I was really impressed when Brandon and Janine were on. I never called Brandon Brian once.
You're impressed with yourself?
Yeah, I was.
I'm
I wrote
impressed
on my
with
notes
you.
here, Brandon.
It's not to Brian.
Yeah.
Which you have a cousin named Brandon. That shouldn't be hard to remember.
I have a cousin named Brian too.
You do actually
I
have a
have
cousin
two
named
cousins
Brian.
named Brian.
You have two cousins.
Aunt Peggy's
named
son's named Brian,
Brian? Oh,
and then Brian Nowak.
yep. Okay.
So I have two cousins named Brian.
You do.
I probably have more cousins named Brian. I don't really know.
Are you
but
gonna like rename Marcus to Brian?
Yeah. I think so.
Maybe you should have thrown that name out there when he was being born.
I should have.
Should have picked
I
Brian.
didn't know. Yeah. I
Like,
wonder if
dang
this guy
it.
knows any Brians.
This segment of Life with Eric is brought to you by
G&E Painting and Drywall, servicing Reno, Tahoe, and Truckee areas for over 25 years.
Call G&E today for all of your painting and drywall needs at 775-833-0551.
He's about my age, close to. He knows lots of Brians. Lots of Garys.
Oh, Gary.
Yeah.
That is a popular name.
But I was thinking,
What? That scares me.
no, don't. This is serious talk.
Also scares me.
Out back east, when you go back east, fall is so much more spectacular back east
Correct.
than it is
Yep.
out west.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you know that river? That fall.
Mike, I think it's
Like
kind of
Central
where like
Park,
a common knowledge. Like
the-
they show pictures. Anytime you see pictures, it's like Vermont or like,
yeah,
you know.
Michigan,
Yeah.
New York, Central Park, yeah, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine.
Do you want to know why?
why?
Well,
The
one,
trees are
because
older.
they've been established longer than the West Coast.
Yeah, but the trees are
And
much
two,
bigger and more
they're
mature
more
and older.
humid, and so they grow a lot.
A lot of foliage.
Yep.
Is that what you call that, foliage?
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of, as I get older in my life, I like fall a lot.
I always like fall.
Like I get excited with the pumpkin
I
stuff.
actually like spring and fall are actually like my favorite times of year.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of? We were supposed to have some kind of, like, pumpkin harpoon or something like that out there.
Yo, you
pumpkin
guys
rum.
did it.
No, Chris
You
said he was
didn't
going to
make
make
it.
it. He never did.
Well,
But everything
we'll have
else
to go
was
back to Kennebunkport.
fall festival, pumpkin. But fall is really nice out there. Everything's about pumpkin, about Halloween, about it's just like a nice time, cozy,
Yeah.
warm.
Well, and
time.
it's like kind of in between because like sometimes the days are a little warmer and then the
nights are
nights
cool.
like in which you want to just kind of
yeah.
be
And I
cozy,
thought that was a
warm, so
really
it's
good
like a
part
nice
about
balance, I
our
think.
Maine because we woke up kind of cold, then it got warm.
yeah.
Even though we kind of wore long sleeves,
Which we had sweaters and jeans
time.
on, which was fine.
Our place was really cool because we had a fire pit that
And
burned
yeah.
real wood, like right on the water out in front of our place. I'll show you a picture.
Which it wasn't.
Rip.
Well, we've had some not great experiences with real burning fire on the West Coast. Not fire starting, but like it burns like hot and smoky, and the experience is not always great.
Well, I think because everything was a little damp.
But I
a little
think,
moist.
yeah, because it's like a different atmosphere. It like burns a little different.
I thought next door to us they had put a
I
tent
thought
up
they
having
were
a
going to
wedding.
be pissed
I
at
go,
us.
we're going to
We're
smoke the
them out.
shit
We
out of these
didn't.
people.
We didn't
They're
at
having
all.
a wedding, we smoke them out.
We didn't smoke them out at all.
We did in Newport. We smoked them out. The next door
Right, that's
neighbors
like
up
the
one
West
time.
Coast thing. That's what we're talking about. I think things like burn different.
It seems like it. I don't know. Maybe it's just different wood. Might have been
There
cedar or
also
whatever.
is not much wind on the East Coast. Like West Coast was real windy.
No.
Yeah, huh?
You ever go to Boston? The Patriots are known for their wind.
Okay, well, where we were in Maine did not. I have like pictures of American flags and they're laying flat.
Yeah, it was just a nice week. It was just a nice week.
There was not like no wind when we were there.
Oh.
Like the smoke just went straight up.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
wind was out my asshole,
Correct.
and if smoke went straight up.
Between you, Chris, and Marcus. There you go.
Well, we're on vacation.
Okay, is that
It's
it?
a lobster.
Oh, okay.
It's the lobster rolls. We did we went down to Portland, Maine, also.
Up to Portland, Maine.
Down to Portland, Maine.
No, Portland was above Kennebunkport, honey.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I don't know that.
I do know that.
It felt like we were going downhill.
No,
to me.
we didn't know we were going up or down a hill. We were just going north.
Either way, who cares?
Salem was south. Portland was
I
north.
don't know. I never looked at a map.
Well, I did.
The only thing I didn't. We went to that place with the lobster roll.
Where?
I
In
never got
Portland?
to go, yeah, and I never went to Luke's. I never went to
Oh,
Jay's
Luke's.
Oyster Bar.
I know
'cause
you
everybody
didn't get to
passed
go
it
to
by.
Jay's.
But we did go to this really cool bar, like bourbon bar.
I think it was called Timber. I'm pretty sure it was called Timber.
Oh, the bar was called Timber.
Yeah.
Well, they
The
had the
Timber
log,
Lounge, I think.
They had the log rounds too for decor.
They
so
did.
I think it's a thing. in
Decor.
Maine. Decor?
Is it decor or decor?
I say dick whore? No, I said decor.
Oh, my God.
What's a dick whore?
Well,
Oh, River.
think
River,
about
plug
that.
Your ears.
Yeah.
Plug your ears, Riv.
think about that for a second. You
That'd be a
can
good
answer
name
your
for
question.
That'd be a good name for a bar in Salem, Oregon, or Salem, not Salem, Oregon, Salem, Massachusetts.
Why?
Dick whore.
Why would that be a good name?
Because if you're a whore, then they witch trial you.
Okie dokes.
Hang your ass.
Okay. Good Lord.
Well.
Anywho, Portland.
Anyhow, Portland, Massachusetts.
And the Timber Lounge.
Or no, Portland, Maine.
Yes, we're in Portland.
The
Maine.
Timber Lounge with the bourbon. This guy, this older guy in there, he's in there, and he,
The bartender, you mean?
yeah, the bartender. Yeah, the bartender. There's nobody in there.
Yeah.
But everywhere,
Oh, we did learn this about. I think it was maybe the Eastern Seaboard.
what?
That everything kind of shuts down between like 3 and 5.
Yeah.
It's like nap
a-
time.
Yeah, it is like
Like
nap
all
time.
the like bars and restaurants like shut down and then reopen.
Yeah, and they say, be right back.
Yeah,
And they reopen at like 4.
it is
5,
weird. Or
yeah.
yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, and they would close at like 3. Like Mel would try to go to a couple bakeries and they were closed at 3.
Yeah.
Which I get that with most places but then they're like, we'll be back at 5, and we're like, well,
Yeah, a lot of places were like that, but maybe it's like they do siestas. Like they do in
it
Mexico
is
or
like
something.
yeah.
Old school.
Found that kind of. I mean, it is kind of odd. And
But the bourbon bar,
inconvenient.
the guy made us
They
old
opened. They were the only bar open at 4.
Yeah, so we went there, and the guy was.
They don't know happy hour on the East Coast.
I don't think so. That's right. They must just do late night.
Yeah.
Like if you go to New York and stuff, people don't go out to dinner and stuff till like 9, 10
Oh,
o'clock
correct.
at night.
Correct.
You know, it's a late thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was good when we were in New York. It was good for us.
Yeah, because
It's
we
actually-
would
yeah, we
go
said I
like
wanna
at
see late.
lunch.
Yeah, we go to lunch at
5.
5. Yeah, then, about 3:30 we go to lunch, and then we'd have dinner at like 10 o'clock at night, which worked good in New York.
Yeah.
But I think it's a back east thing.
It must
But
be.
anyway, what I'm getting at is this bourbon bar,
Okie dokes.
and the bartender, didn't really like us. We come in, we're goofing around and stuff.
Because you
Everybody's
guys
a
are
little
like
serious.
loud
Yeah.
and probably obnoxious.
Everywhere we went, then the bartender would become our best friend after
You guys
that.
he warms up to you.
Yeah. Speaking of warm, the toilet seats in that bar were heated.
My favorite part.
River, they had the toilet seats in the bar, had a heater. You sit down, it's hot.
It's called a Toto. Anywho, I know this because Chris called. We were across the street shopping. Chris called Lauren to tell her that. Like, she's like, oh, well, hey, what's going on? Did you guys move? Did you leave or something? He's like, no, I just called to tell you that the toilet seat's heated. She's like, I don't need to know that.
Well, he came out and he says, oh, my God, you got to go in there. The toilet seats are heated. So I went in there, And the first thing I discovered is that he took a shit in there. Because I was like, Jesus Christ, the whole bathroom stinks. Can't you spray anything? Dash some bourbon around or something.
Hence why he knows that the toilet seat
So
is
as
heated.
I didn't
didn't
want to
need
sit on the toilet seat, so I just took a little piece of toilet paper and felt the toilet seat,
Oh my
and
God.
it was warm.
Oh
I didn't
my
sit
God.
on it.
I didn't sit on it.
I mean, after I smelled what was in there, I didn't want to sit on it.
Well, understandable.
At least I knew the guy.
Right.
Yeah. Could have been
You
anybody.
know where it's coming from.
Yeah. But anyway, everywhere we went, the bartender would warm up to us, or a waitress or whatever.
Right.
But most people were very nice.
Yeah.
And most people love living in Kennebunkport.
Yes, we did learn that.
I don't know about Portland.
I don't know about Portland
But-
either.
Kennebunkport, they're like, I would never leave here. This is the best place on earth. And
Yeah.
it's a little slice of heaven. Like
It
Riv,
really
Riv, I think
is.
you would like it. It's a real old fishing town. It's a lot
And
of
we learned
history.
a lot of good surfing happens in Kennebunkport.
yeah. There's a lot of surfing in Kennebunkport, Riv.
Kennebunkport.
Kennebunkport, and I don't care. But we went to the beach where some waves were breaking and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
not sure about East Coast. You got to wear a thick wetsuit.
I would think yes.
It's almost like when you're,
I would think it's a little chilly because we did go down to the beach and I put my feet in the water and it was a little cold.
yeah. I mean, Newport cold or
No,
colder?
no colder than
Like
that.
real cold.
Yeah.
Well, you got to keep the lobster cold the lobster are in cold water.
Well, that makes sense because it's chilly.
Right.
Right.
Do you think speaking of fall again,
Okay.
we're back on the fall thing. Are couples and relationships, do you think people are nicer to each other in the fall?
I don't know.
You seem nicer to me in the fall a little
I
bit.
do?
Yeah.
Oh.
You and I were talking, she kind of got my back on things and stuff. I was asking you what do you feel
Do you think
about
it's the
things.
fall though?
Yeah,
per se?
I do.
Oh.
It's a little cozier, a little warm.
That's true. You kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then like the summer craziness is over.
Yeah.
Okay,
And winter
maybe.
time's a little
And
bit
the-
stale.
Your lead up to Christmas isn't there yet, so you're like in between. Like it's a nice little, like October is a nice
Mhm.
little chunk of,
Yep. River's birthday's in October.
right.
You like October, Riv? You must.
You must.
It's your favorite month. You love fall, because you can still go outdoors and still do stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
You
have
and
pretty
Gianna
decent
feel
falls.
closer in the fall. See,
Oh sure.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel closer in the fall. And
You
I
like
it.
me more in the fall?
Yeah, because
Oh,
you
okay.
kind of I like the other night we were talking. You said you gonna have I was talking about some stuff, and I'm like, hey, are you okay with what I'm doing? And do you have my
Oh,
back? And
yeah.
you're like, yeah, I do. I'm like, well, okay.
Well, I don't know if that had anything to do with fall though.
I think it did
I don't think it did.
because we were in a little cozy. We're eating some pho
That's true. We don't eat pho.
in the
I just
fall.
stuttered pho in
Eat
the
pho
summer.
In the fall. I don't fought in the fall.
You just farted before this started in my face.
No, I didn't. That's
You
my
did?
phone.
Okay.
Made phone sounds.
Phone sounds. That's in your ringtone?
This podcast is sponsored by Eric's Concrete Pavers, Rockhouse Masonry, and Tahoe Pervious Pavements. When it rains, it drains. Kiki.
It does. It's getting
Yeah.
towards rainy season.
It's funny. We're out in
Wet
Maine. It didn't rain
season.
at all.
The day we left, it did.
Oh, yeah. The day we left,
Mhm.
it rained. We had an experience. We were waiting for Habib. His name
Abid.
was Habib.
It was Abid.
Abid, the cab driver. And so we're waiting for him. So they send somebody different. We're supposed to get a minivan.
Because I had
They
a lot of
send a-
luggage.
Yeah. They send a Camry
A Toyota Camry for 4 people
with
and 6
6
bags.
pieces of luggage.
It was
we-
not
We
good.
had to cram in there. We had a flight to catch.
I know. It was bad.
It's
We made
cram-
it. We
yeah.
made it. Or we got our luggage checked. We made it on the plane. Our luggage made it with us.
And you're like, you freaking kidding me, Habib?
I mean, I will say, a lot of people I think rag on like Southwest because it's like
We were on time. And
I know.
everything.
Well, because they, you don't. There's no first class. You can't upgrade. You can't pick your seat. They do it. But you know what? I don't know what time we got there, but you can literally check in 10 minutes before they take off. But we got everything through security. Like literally when we got up to the gate, they were boarding. And every other airline, I don't think you
So
could
you're
do
saying
that.
you like Southwest?
You know what? I don't hate it.
Well, you're probably only one of the few because people bag on Southwest.
I know they do, but you know what?
I was bagging on that asshole in front of me, Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin or whatever, slamming his chair,
Every
and
time he
spilling my
like
coffee on my lap.
sat down, he like rocked the
I
seat.
mean, my whole coffee and everything, boom, back
He-
and forth.
yes,
you know?
he
I only
was
brought one pair of
intense.
jeans too.
No, I packed you a second,
Oh, you did?
but you didn't wear them. But yeah, he was a little intense.
Intense.
every time he got up, and which I feel like he had to go to the bathroom or his seatmate did, and he just kept getting up and down for a while there, and it was rough. It was rough for you.
I know. Life with Eric podcast is brought to you by Petrilla Concrete Construction and doTERRA Essential Oils. You can get those from Aislinn Mueller, who we're going to go see at dinner time because it is her birthday. Or you can go to her handle on Instagram.
Oh, boy.
At This Essential Life is her handle.
Do you know what I wish I had in Maine?
What?
Some of that Terra Shield bug spray, because my foot got attacked.
You're the only one that got bit in Maine.
I know.
didn't get bit at all.
I think it might.
bite,
Now that
baby.
I'm thinking about, I'm like looking back on it. I think it might have been a spider that bit me twice, and then that's
Oh,
why.
it kept crawling around biting you?
Yeah,
Biting the crap because I didn't get bit at
I
all.
only went twice, and so I think it might have been a spider that bit me twice.
I always say if you don't want to get bit by mosquitoes, sit right next to me. 'Cause
Oh no, I know. I
they'll all
never
attract to me.
get bit by mosquitoes. That's why I'm thinking it might have been a spider bite.
Not
If
sure.
you want to get like not bit by a spider, sit next to me because they apparently love me.
Right. I don't like spiders. to bite
I don't
me.
either, but
I don't
keep
mind
getting-
spiders. I just want them to bite me.
I keep getting bit by them in life.
I know. That's too bad. At least they don't eat your skin like before.
Right. Like your spider bite that you were convinced you were going to die from.
You know, it's fine. No, it's
That you
convinced.
woke me up at
Well,
4 a.m.
Yeah,
to
because
check.
we're going to Maine in a few days. I don't want to have to go to the hospital and do what you had to do.
I know, but you're like, this is it. It's a bad one. I can tell. And I'm like, no, it's no. And you're like, it itches. And I'm like, it's a spite. What do you expect? I'm like, if it helps you, this is what actually you were okay with then. I said, if it makes you feel better at all, I go, mine never once itched.
Oh, mine was itching.
And you're like, it didn't? And I was like, no. Mine just flat out hurt.
I feel like someone smacked you with a
It
baseball
did.
bat.
So
in
that's
the
why I
leg.
was like, that's
Okay,
just
well, that's how
a-
you know. People out
yeah.
there, that's how you
just
know.
a regular old spider. It itches.
Yep. Well, we had a lot to talk about today. We just talked about Maine, but we even have some more stuff about Maine. Next week, we're really going to
Maine's
talk about
great.
that 45-minute blackhead video we watched.
Oh my God, we get sucked in.
Kylie
Like
and
a
I
literally a black hole.
sit there. We're going to talk about this next week. We literally sit there and watched 45 minutes on YouTube of someone
did.
popping blackheads on somebody's face.
We did.
And
It
was
really
crazy.
satisfying.
yeah, I couldn't.
We wasted
I was
45
like,
minutes of our life.
yeah, just watching that. But we'll talk about that next week.
Oh, we will.
Because this week, dear, it's that time. Last call. Who are we cheersing today?
Well, first I would like to change. Cheers to the Maine Gang for another fabulous
Chris
trip.
and Lauren, Mark and Mel,
Yep.
Kylie
And ourselves. Yep.
and Eric. Kylie and Eric.
For another great trip, and I can't wait for the next.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody. I want to cheers Podcast Dan, too.
Yeah.
I gave Podcast Dan a pile of shit with an episode.
Which
and,
way?
me
Which
and Kylie and a smorgasbord of
which
stuff. I said,
was that?
"Can you-"
72.
Yeah, 72.
Yeah,
and then-
72 was a pile of shit handed in.
Right, and then we had 25 minutes or so of behind the scenes talk with Brandon and Janine and Atna, and ended up putting together a podcast so we didn't have to do. We could take a week off.
It was bad. When we were recording our parts, it was like just a shit show of conversation, and Dan had to like pull out parts. Like, bless your heart, Dan.
Yeah, so good job.
So cheers to you. Thank
I
you.
listened to it twice. It was pretty good too. I enjoyed it. So thanks a lot, Dan.
It was a shit show.
And Dan making us look good, right?
Right.
Subscribe or follow us on wherever you listen to your podcast, or just go to our website at www.lifewitheric.com.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and a closer look into my life with Eric. To all of our listeners out there, remember, it's always happy hour here.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
Love you, Riv.
Love you, Riv.